and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Usual Wales, who actually captured this wonderful 6-minute video. Now here, Jon Stewart is confronting and talking to Deputy Defense Secretary Kathleen Hicks, who loses all of her composure when she is pressed by Jon Stewart about government fraud, waste, and abuse. Now, I understand there's a lot of people critical of Jon Stewart due to the fact he has been, well, somewhat friendly to the Democratic establishment. However, we here at Hard Lens Media want to embrace and look at different perspectives and different points of views. And the thing is, look, Jon Stewart is pressing some questions that I agree with. We got to talk about government fraud, waste, and abuse. I mean, look, we have politicians who are doing insider trading. We have politicians who are committing government fraud, waste, and abuse. And it's been ongoing. Yes, both Democrat and Republican. Sorry, diehard vote red Republicans or diehard vote blue, no matter who, Democrats. Your favorite politicians are doing insider trading because they're all scumbags. That's the key word for the day. All politicians are scumbags. And of course, later on in this video, we're going to be showing the fact of good old Don Lemon being very bitter, being a hater in regards towards how Jon Stewart is able to really start asking more questions and actually can put pressure on these politicians more than anyone at CNN. So let's play this first video. All of you are going to like this. I'll try and keep my pausing of the video at a bare minimum. And again, shout out to Unusual Wales. If you're not following this Twitter account, I would recommend that you do so. They have done some phenomenal work, especially when it comes time to following our wonderful scumbag politicians who do insider trading. Shout out to Unusual Wales. Let's play this video for all of you to see.
Do you feel like these are unfair questions of somebody within a department of that size and scope?
I think you have a particular thing you really want to talk about and you're asking me other questions, but I don't think it's unfair to ask me about the audit. It's absolutely the case that the United States military should be able to pass an audit, and we've got to be on that pathway to get there.
But don't you think that that does speak to the larger point that we're trying to get at, which is...
By the way, this has been covered by Jimmy Dore Show, Hard Lens Media, Mint Press News, you know, The Gray Zone, RBN, Convo Couch. The Pentagon's never done an audit. Never got it done. Now, see, the thing is, if you own a business or you have to do an audit yourself and you screw it up, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, the consequence will come down on you. So all the weight of the world, hell, Mount Olympus might as well be floating above your head and squish, you get squashed.
Good journalism uncovers corruption. And
okay, I mean, good journalism does uncover corruption, but I'm not sure these two things are linked.
Yes, they are, lady. I'm breaking my promise already, saying I wouldn't pause as much. But again, good journalism does uncover corruption, abuse, tyranny, and scumbag politicians.
An audit is not.
But they are.
Okay, so you need to explain to me. Do you understand what an audit does and the degree to which it is linked to the question that you're asking?
I believe so.
Okay, go ahead. Give me your explanation.
No, I don't mind learning. So what I...
Why'd she make that weird noise? Hold on. We're going to rewind that.
They are.
Okay, so you need to explain to me. Do you understand what an audit does and the degree to which it is linked to the question that you're asking?
I believe so.
Okay, go ahead. Give me your explanation.
No, I don't mind learning. So
she made that noise. Hold on, one more time. I'm sorry.
Give me your explanation.
No, I don't mind learning. So what I would suggest...
Y'all heard that, right? Okay. All right. Whatever. Time to move on.
Is that the audit that they have in the military doesn't really look at whether or not there's efficacy. It's just whether they got delivered the thing that they ordered. And
that is any audit. That is any audit. That is true.
But generally, those audits aren't $400 billion for Raytheon and $1.7 trillion for a plane that doesn't seem to be doing. Like, there is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within a system.
Audits and waste, fraud, and abuse are not the same thing. So let's decompose these
Please
pieces
educate me on
sure.
What's
so an audit
the
is
difference?
exactly what you just described, which is, do I know what was delivered to which place?
Right.
Okay, so here's the thing. Jon Stewart politely is explaining to her the reasons why we need an audit, what it's about, and also why the hell journalism is needed to uncover corruption. Now, the thing is, she knows what she's doing. She's not being stupid. She's right now trying to cover her wazoo, so that way, she doesn't get any heat from her superiors. But again, the way she's twisting and turning her words, she almost puts a pretzel to shame.
The ability to pass an audit, or the fact that the DOD has not passed an audit, is not suggestive of waste, fraud, and abuse. That is completely false right there. So
what is
now it's a question of, it's suggestive that we don't have an accurate inventory that we can pull up of what we have where. That is not the same as saying we can't do that because waste, fraud, and abuse has occurred.
So in my world,
yeah,
that's waste.
Yes. How's Jon Stewart wrong? That's the key word. It's called waste.
How is that waste?
If I give you $1 billion and you can't tell me what happened to it, that to me is wasteful. That means you are not responsible. But if you can't tell me where it went, then what am I supposed to think? And when
exactly when a bank gives you a loan for a small business, hey, I'm not a big fan of loans or anything else like that, but look, you got to explain where that money is going going towards. Again, if somebody, again, if you gave somebody $1 billion, right? Let's say all of you right now, I want you to feel like a winner today. Let's say you have $1 billion in your hip back pocket and you throw it at somebody. And they can't explain to you what happened to that $1 billion that you gave them. It's called waste and fraud. And what do they do with it? Where's the money at, Lebowski?
When there has been reporting, I mean, this is not, look, I'm not saying this is on you and that you caused this, but I think it's a tough argument.
Notice she's laughing, smiling, getting all defensive because she knows she doesn't really have an answer.
I'm pretty sure I didn't cause
it. an $850 billion budget to an organization that can't pass an audit and tell you where that money went, like, I think most people would consider that somewhere in the realm of waste, fraud, or abuse, because they would wonder why that money isn't well accounted for. And especially when they see food insecurity on military bases, and they see...
You want to talk about that? Because that's a good... We should be talking... I mean...
Okay. Oh, yeah. That is something we should be talking about. Let's also talk about the fact that a lot of the... I don't know, the drinking water is heavily contaminated on a lot of military bases. There is food insecurity on some military bases. Yeah, there's a lot of things to bring up that you would think our oh so wonderful government that says it cares about the troops would do something about. Yeah, but they don't. They don't give a damn about nobody. If all of you know firsthand, our politicians and all these wonderful departments don't really give a damn about the people.
Well, I'm trying to understand where you're trying to go, other than the dollars, which really bother you.
I think it doesn't really bother me. I think it's all connected.
Okay.
I think
tell me that story. Tell me how you're thinking about that.
When I see...
Again, she's being very condescending.
A State Department get a certain amount of money and a military budget be 10 times that, and I see a struggle within government to get people like more basic services, and then that department that got that, I mean, we got out of 20 years of war and the Pentagon got a $50 billion raise. Like, that's shocking to me. Now, I may not understand exactly the ins and outs and the incredible magic of an audit, but I'm a human being who lives on the earth and can't figure out how $850 billion to a department means that the rank and file still have to be on food stamps. Like,
yeah, very interesting question. All that billions upon billions of dollars. See, I never, ever want to hear from those that are brainwashed in a two-party system. Oh, we can't do student debt forgiveness. Oh, we really can't invest into our infrastructure. Oh, we can't do Medicare for all because it's just too expensive. We have an institution that can't audit or explain where $850 billion went. I don't know. You know, I mean, come on. It comes to a point of, you know, you're trying to confront an arsonist and they're saying, hey, I don't know how the neighborhood caught on fire when they have a gas can in their hand with a pack of matches in the other. How did it happen? I don't know. How'd you lose $850 billion?
Like, to me, that's fucking corruption. I'm sorry. And if that blows your mind, and if you think like that's like a crazy agenda for me to have, I really think that that's institutional thinking, and that it's not looking at the day-to-day reality of the people that you call the greatest fighting force in the world. So I get back to this idea of like, I'm not looking to pick a fight with you, but I am surprised at that the reaction to these questions are, you don't know what an audit is, bucko. Like, that's just weird to me.
Yeah, that is true. Oh God, you know what she reminds me of? Like a watered down version of Hillary Clinton.
Okay. On food insecurity, major priority for us. A lot of funds are going toward that. The biggest issues we have found, first of all, we have significantly increased funding on food insecurity. And we do think we are getting much better on that. We believe some of the challenges we face are not what you often think of as, food insecurity as hunger. They're really around, do we have food available? For instance, as people come on and off shifts, is it healthy food? Those are the types of food insecurity issues we are seeing in and around our military installations. We have increased pay 2 times in a row here. We've done 4.6% pay raise last year. We've asked for 5.2% pay raise this year. We've also increased basic allowances and increased housing and pay and other allowances. So overall, we definitely think we need to increase the spending that we are putting forward toward our service members and their families. We're putting our money where our mouth is.
Should have been happening years ago.
Another big area is childcare. Spending a lot more money on childcare. That includes both childcare facilities, and it includes benefit that allows folks to go out on the economy to get childcare and have that subsidized by the government. Those are all examples of ways we're trying to put money forward for our service members and their families.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, look, this is fine. I'm glad that Jon Stewart was asking these tough questions. And yes, we were going to play that whole 6-minute video. Now, there's a lot more to it. I urge all of you to check it out. But something interesting happened. You see, our quote-unquote corporate media, sometimes they get a little bit jelly. I know, they do, yes. So let's talk about good old Lemonhead himself, Don Lemon, appears to slight Jon Stewart during a hot mic moment. CNN's Donnie Boy the Lemon appeared to diss Jon Stewart during a hot mic moment, saying the former Daily Show host has more leeway as a comedian following Stewart's tense exchange with a Pentagon official. Again, look, we all know this. Nobody at CNN or MSNBC would ever do anything like this. So it's interesting. And of course, he is quoted as saying he gets a lot of leeway with the comedian thing, though. This is what good old Don Lemon said. Now, if you don't believe me, here, listen to his own words. I find this to be quite hilarious.
Jon Stewart, accusing the Defense Department of corruption and waste. Stewart confronted the Pentagon's Deputy Secretary Kathleen Hicks. During an interview on Thursday, he asked her why the DoD keeps failing audits.
We don't have an accurate inventory that we can pull up of what we have where. That is not the same as saying we can't do that because waste, fraud, and abuse has occurred.
So in my world,
yeah,
that's waste.
How is that waste?
If I give you $1 billion and you can't tell me what happened to it, that to me is wasteful. That means you are not responsible. But if you can't tell me where it went, then what am I supposed to think? We got out of 20 years of war and the Pentagon got a $50 billion raise. Like, that's shocking to me. Now, I may not understand exactly the ins and outs and the incredible magic of an audit, but I'm a human being who lives on the earth and can't figure out how $850 billion to a department means that the rank and file still have to be on food stamps. Like, to me, that's corruption. I'm sorry.
He gets a lot of leeway with the comedian thing, though.
Oh, you heard that? Sounds so petty. He gets a lot of leeway. It's a comedian thing. Here, listen again.
That's corruption. I'm sorry.
He gets a lot of leeway with the comedian thing, though.
Hot mic, hot mic. Uh-oh. Notice the silence. Shh. Hang on. One more time. We're going to listen to it again.
He gets a lot of leeway with the comedian thing, though.
Oh, the quiet.
So Stewart questioned why some veterans are facing food insecurity despite the Defense Department's massive budget. Hicks acknowledged it has been a problem in the past, but said that the Biden administration has made it, quote, major priority. We're just discussing, like, Jon Stewart is so much more than a comedian.
Oh, backpedal. Hey, look. I know all of us hate going to work in the morning. I'm right there with you. John and good old Don Lemon has to do the morning show on CNN, which again, folks, it's like a low tier kind of way to do your programming, especially on cable news. But he knows he made an oopsie. He made an oopsie. Here, just one more time. Listen, if you think you're having a bad day, stop everything, because you could be in this guy's shoes.
Earth and can't figure out how $850 billion to a department means that the rank and file still have to be on food stamps. Like, to me, that's corruption. I'm sorry.
He gets a lot of leeway with the comedian thing, though.
Shh. Quiet.
So Stewart questioned why some veterans are facing food insecurity despite the Defense Department's massive budget. Hicks acknowledged it has been a problem in the past, but said that the Biden administration has made it, quote, major priority. We're just discussing, like, Jon Stewart is so much more than a comedian. He's
the one who
leader.
truly needs no introduction,
yeah,
and has stood up for so long for veterans' rights and fought so loud and so hard, and uses this big platform to keep doing so.
Well, I mean, the questions for she's the number 2 at the Department of Defense. Those are important questions, and there weren't really a ton of sufficient answers, I think, and that's going to be the big question for them.
Yes, and you guys wish you could ask those kind of questions. But y'all know better, because CNN is owned by the same people who own our politicians.
Going forward, it's not just what he said there, it's how they're responding.
Yeah, we were saying, when I said comedian and television host, he's so much more than that. I don't even know if you need to qualify Jon Stewart as that.
He had the back pedal. See? If you think you're having a bad morning, or hey, listen, and we've all had bad days. Listen. It's kind of funny. But you know what? Because I had to bring up CNN, and I'm going to be this petty. I'm going to be petty because of the CNN story. And yes, this video I'm going to play is old. In fact, it is from June 24th of 2022. But anytime I get a chance to curb stomp CNN, I play this video. Shout out to Case Study QB for finding this gem.
Everybody knows by now that CNN's hitting rock bottom. Their ratings have hit record lows. Chris Cuomo was fired. Jeff Zucker forced out. Host Brian Stelter's days are numbered, reportedly, and we can see why. His show last week getting 56,000 viewers in the demo.
Oh,
now, for context, I was going to name shows that rate higher than that, but we don't have time. I'd have to read you the entire TV guide.
Oh,
but when it rains, it pours. Not only has CNN lost viewers, they've lost what little respect they ever had. When CNN approached Republican candidate for Arizona governor, Kari Lake, things didn't go well. Watch.
Hi, Harry. Hi. Nice to see you. You don't have a mask on anymore. What's going
we're
on?
outside. Do you have a minute to
well,
chat?
we're 6 feet apart.
Do you have a minute to chat?
I'll do an interview.
Okay.
As long as it airs on CNN Plus. Does that still exist? I didn't think so, because the people don't like what you guys are peddling, which is propaganda. Thank you.
Wow.
Well, sometimes you just gotta kick them. Just gotta kick them hard. So shout out to Jon Stewart for doing the right thing, and shout out to Unusual Whales for finding this wonderful gem and sharing it on social media. Look, we got to ask these questions about government fraud, waste, and abuse, because if we don't, nothing will fundamentally change. But know this: corporate media wishes and dreams of doing what Jon Stewart did. Don Lemon, insert foot in mouth.